Hi, I'm Stan Mikulski, the DDS coach, and this is the Coach's Corner. We're coming to you today from the University of Georgia in Athens, Georgia, where the South Carolina Gamecocks will be here to take on the Georgia Bulldogs later on this afternoon to bring you the fourth in our four-part series on case acceptance. The first part of our series on case acceptance focused on energy, where we want to bring energy to the patient-doctor interaction. The second part, we talked about asking open-ended questions to find out what the patient really wants. We want to ask questions that allow the patient to talk and not us purely tell the patient what they need. The third part in our series was about what I call reaffirmation. That is asking a particular question to make sure the patient truly understands what the treatment is. That question is, and I'll just reiterate it, just to make sure I've explained this well enough, tell me back in your own words what it is we need to do. In that way, we make sure the patient can tell us and they really do know. We don't want to ask the question, do you understand, or do you have any questions? Those are both closed-ended questions that are terrible questions to ask. You can see that in our third part in our series where I expound on that. Today, I want to talk about actually closing the deal. So we must ask the patient at the end of the process, so is this something you're ready to get started with? If the patient says yes, stop talking. You can only mess it up after that. Generally what will happen though, this is when the objections will come out. What's the primary objection, of course? Money. The patient will always say, well, how much is my insurance going to pay? Or how much is this going to cost? The worst thing you can say is, I don't know, and certainly don't get into discussion about insurance. With copay, with deductible, with what plan you're on, with contract prices. But too many dentists go down that road, and it's a terrible place to be, and they are lost. I will help you have a place to stand when that question, when that objection is raised. So you say, is this something you're ready to get started with? And the patient asks a financial question, so how much is this going to be? Say this, are finances a concern for you? You've just taken control of the conversation again. Of course the patient is going to say yes, because they just told you finances are a concern. I find myself actually physically making this motion, saying, let's take the finances and just set them over here for a second. I'm not ignoring them, we're just going to set them there for a second. If this were free, is it something you would do? Many times the patient will say yes, say, fantastic. I'm going to have one of the people at our front desk, our financial coordinator, sit down with you and go over the finances so you can get the treatment you deserve. Use the word deserve a lot. People want what they deserve. It will also open up some questions as far as other objections. And if you've practiced dentistry for any length of time, you've heard them all. If you have to do a root canal, you need to take my entire tooth out. If you're going to do a crown, you need to grind it down to a nub. Or whatever crazy thing. My aunt had a root canal done and 2 weeks later her gallbladder was inflamed, or whatever. But this gives you the opportunity to bring the objections out right now so you, the dentist, can answer those objections. It shouldn't be the hygienist, it should be your assistant, and it absolutely shouldn't be the financial coordinator trying to save that appointment while they're making the financial arrangements. If you follow these steps, I guarantee you will increase your case acceptance a lot. This has been Stan Mikulski, the DDS coach, encouraging you to get in the game.